Welcome to the review for Audio 1, quiz number 6. And we're going to be talking about microphones and some of their properties. So that's why I kind of raised my mic here to be in the shot. I try to keep it just below frame for most of these, but you know, we're going to be messing with this a little bit. So we'll see if we can demonstrate some of the things that we're actually talking about here. So first of all, condenser microphones like this one, they get power from either external sources, from phantom power, or the electret self-charging. All three of those are ways to get the phantom power to the microphone. Polar pattern is a chart of the microphone's directional response, right? This is a cardioid, and let's see, I'll turn it around backwards. You can even see this little image right there of the heart, and you can actually hear, I think, that it's less clear because it's not pointing at me anymore. I rotate it back toward me, and now much clearer, coming from that direction of a cardioid pattern. So omnidirectional, that means it would pick up equally from all sides, right? Had I turned around backwards, it would have sounded the same all the way through, pointing up to the ceiling, pointing at you. Bidirectional means that it's picking up from two sides but not the other two sides, right? So from the back over here and from the front, it would be picking up, but not so much from the top and the bottom. Cardioid, like I said, it picks up from one side and not so much from the other. Good. Microphones that are said to respond equally at all frequencies are flat. I would say a flat frequency response. Apparently that's a true-false question, and I forget what was false about it, but flat frequency response, when it responds equally to all frequencies, it's usually what we want. The transient response is the measure of how quickly a microphone diaphragm will react when it's hit by the acoustic wave. Condenser microphones, they're going to be a little faster. They're going to pick up those high frequencies faster than like a moving coil. It's going to take it a little longer for it to respond to the sound. Quarter-inch guitar connectors. Let's see if I can reach down here. I got one of these at my desk. So just right here. Right, that is not going to be able to carry a balanced signal because it's only got the two connectors. Sorry, trying to get away from the words, right? You got the tip and you got the sleeve. There's no ring. If there were a ring, then you could send a balanced signal across it. So getting rid of low frequencies out of a microphone, you can do several different things, right? A shock mount, that will help get rid of it. Microphone choice, right? If you choose a microphone that is better at getting rid of those low frequencies, then that can help. Or use a roll-off filter, a high-pass filter. Lets the high frequencies pass, rolls off the low frequencies. Good. Proximity effect. Okay, let's see if we can be fancy now. The proximity effect is the result of a sound source being too close to the microphone. Sometimes not too close. Sometimes this is what we want to get, right? It's an increased bass response. Let's see if I can do this because I know that it will be much louder, but I'm going to get closer to this microphone, try and talk in the same voice, and try to hear if we've got lower frequencies in the words that I'm saying. If I come here and talk in these at this distance, I'm not trying to speak in a lower tone than I was before, but out out here and I turn it back up, there, right? It's the same voice, but I have less of the low frequencies, right? If you want that 40s crooner Frank Sinatra voice, you might do that. It's a little trick that you can use. Now there are other problems that you get with it sometimes, but that's the proximity effect. Okay. Hey, this is Future Sam real quick, because I do not ramble around to actually saying the actual answer to question number 9. And the words that need to be said are that the popping is generally associated with directional microphones and is when microphones respond to the P or B sound with a loud, low frequency noise. Now back to former me. I hesitate to do this one, but popping is generally associated with microphones when the microphone responds to sounds with a loud noise. So Peter Piper picked a peppers, right? You hear those pops. Yeah, those are bad. We have a popper stopper in the studio, right? Those shields that you can put in front of them that will stop that. Otherwise, you can just move the mic. You can just have the person sing off axis, right? So if that's the next thing, the off axis pickup occurs because sound arrives from a different direction. So if I were doing that tongue twister, I would just have my face move a little bit off axis. So now my P's are going away from the diaphragm. Peter Piper picked a peck. Why can't I do that? Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers, and it doesn't pop. Okay. And the more I get off axis, we get that same sort of sound again, where we're losing a lot of the high frequencies, and I come back and the high frequencies are back. Okay, good. I hope that was educational and demonstrated some of those things. Good. And otherwise, like the kangaroo picked a peck of peppers, I'm not surprised.